We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome to joining me this evening. Thank you for joining me this evening, rather. Listen, guys, okay, there are more protests planned at hotels, and these planned protests, they're coming up thick and fast now. I got a little bit of a slating in the chat when I was talking about a mob mentality, flash mobs, and I was true with what I was saying, and this is the direction of travel that we're heading at the moment, guys. Okay, so the hotel in Epping, there's more protests planned. I think, is it Wednesday? I think there's more protests planned on the 16th, which would be I think that's Wednesday. So more protests planned on the 16th in Epping, guys, okay? Remember, this weekend, there's the Great British Summer Beach Party that's down in Dover. I don't know if you guys know about this. I don't know where you're watching, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on TikTok, or whether you're watching later on, or in the realms of the future, and you're looking back at my videos and saying, do you know what? That Raven guy, he was spot on. So we've got more protests planned in Essex on Wednesday. Then this weekend, I believe on Friday, we have got the Great British Beach Party, which is being held in Dover this weekend. Guys, look, things like, can you imagine the scenes down there? So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there was a planned protest on the beaches in Dover. We shall fight them on the beaches unless they're bringing rubber dinghies, and then we will just surrender. There was a planned protest on the beach of Dover this weekend. The protest was not allowed by the government. The government said, oh, no, you're not allowed to have a protest there. It's too inflammatory. You're not allowed that. So what people are doing now, they're saying, well, do you know what? We're not allowed to protest. No, but do you know what we can do? We can go down there and have a beach party. I don't think a beach party is illegal. I don't know. Maybe a beach party is illegal, guys. I don't know. Maybe we're not allowed a beach party now. If too many people turn up, oh, no, you're not allowed a beach party, guys. You're not allowed a beach party. But these are the things that happen in our immediate future. Look, guys, okay, everybody's trying, so many people are putting in the comments, I'm voting reform. I'm going to vote reform. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I stood as a candidate for reform, all right? I did. I was standing as a candidate for reform in the last general election. When I understood how bad things were run, when I had a better understanding of how this system works, I was like, guys, look, I thank you very much. I'm not going to get, it was a bit of a lengthy email. I said, look, guys, thank you very much, but I don't want to stand for reform anymore. It's not what I thought it was. Politics is not what I thought it was. We're not going to have any change. Look, guys, and what I'm saying now, I wanted to go at this at national level, but we're not talking about national level, guys, okay? The way out of this cesspit, is at local level, guys, okay? We are talking about local level. So I mean local people doing local things, local council, local councillors. Because, guys, listen, whether we all want to vote for Boris Johnson, don't we? I mean, come on, guys, let's be honest. We all want Boris Johnson back. Let's just be fair. We all want Boris Johnson back. But when you vote, listen, my mum's guilty of this herself. I used to say to my mum, right, do you vote in local elections? She used to say, no, I only vote in the general election. Your vote in a local election, that will have more say and influence over your own life than a vote in the in the national election. Anyway, guys, right, let me jump up and get some of these comments. Where are we? Right, guys, the chat's open tonight, so I may not be able to get to everyone's comments, and I do apologize if that is the case. Do you know what? I'm just going to jump down to the bottom. Matt is saying vote UKIP. Debbie Doobs is saying, are you local League of Gentlemen line? I don't know what that means. Local League of Gentlemen line. I feel like I'm a local league of. I feel like it should be in a League of Gentlemen. Listen, guys. Again, this morning, right? Well, not this morning. This afternoon. I was backing out the driveway. And across the road, there was just a guy asleep on the floor. So I was like, right, okay, what's going on here? Look, guys, this is a true story. This morning, backing out the driveway, I looked across the road, and there's like a guy asleep on the road. And we don't live in like a city or anything. We live in like a semi-rural village. So I went over to the road and I just said, I didn't know whether to film it. I didn't know whether to film this, guys. You know, I didn't want to like intrude on somebody with a camera in his face. It's a bit of a douche thing to do. But like in my head, I was like, right, do I film this? Do I film this and let people know what's happening? And then like, I kind of feel like you're taking dignity away from people. When people are less fortunate and when people are struggling and you've got a camera in their face and you're like, yeah, mate, here's a tenner. And like people are like, oh, you're a saint, you're a saint. Really? Are they a saint? By making, I don't know, guys. I genuinely don't know where I go with that, because on one hand, you know, if you are making those comments and you are making that content, you're getting that message out there and people are understanding. On the other hand, for me, it just feels like a douche move, guys. It just feels like a douche move. But anyway, as strange as it sounds, I backed out of the driveway. There was a guy asleep. There was a guy asleep, like, across the road. So I went over to him. I said, you all right, mate? He was out of his face. You know, well, I believed he was out of his face. I don't think he was acting normal. He couldn't really get the words out. And I was just like, wow, what has our society descended into when this is the go-to thing right now, guys? You know, people sleeping homeless. How does it happen when people are sleeping homeless in the UK? I mean, we've clearly got enough hotel space, haven't we? You know what I mean? We've got enough hotel space. So, It's just like, I don't even know where I'm going with this one, guys. Right, we have got masses of homeless people in the UK, right? And I saw this today. Like we live in a small village. It's not even a big, Right, I've just downloaded the new app for this smartwatch, and it's literally giving me notifications for everything. So we have got homeless people, and I've seen this now. I just hope none of the girls saw him, saw this guy when they were going to school. So on one part of me, I was wanting to film it to make content. On one part of me, I was wanting to film this for content. On the other part of me, I didn't want to embarrass the guy, and I didn't want to be like a vulture. Anyway, so I spoke to him. I tried to find out what was happening. I didn't want to give him money because then he'd come back. But what I'm getting at here is, the government are saying there's no money for these people, but there's money for hotels for people who've never lived in this country. I think we should look, guys, call me whatever you want. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. Like, you can't cancel. Well, TikTok can cancel me. But what I mean by you can't cancel me is, like, I don't have a boss at work. I don't have a network agency above me saying, oh, Sean, you're going to say this. You need to push this narrative. Like, you genuinely can't cancel me. I will literally say whatever I want, whenever I want, to whoever I want. So we've got, on one hand, you've got the government here saying there's no money for the homeless. We're trying to do what we can, yada, yada, yada. And at the same time, they're putting people in hotels and giving them 3 meals a day. Where do we go with that, guys? I don't know. It's just bonkers. It is crazy. Just some really strange things. And I'm looking at this now existentially. And I'm genuinely, guys, I'm like, do we leave the United Kingdom right now? I mean, like, do we sell up and leave the United Kingdom? In fact, you know what? Even better. Like, should I just call Serco and I'll rent my house out? I'll rent my house out to Serco. I'll say, hey, Serco, come and give me that fat paycheck. Come on, Serco, give me that fat paycheck. We go out and me and Sarah move to Texas and we take the kids either Texas even Texas is going downhill, guys. So then I'm thinking about, okay, we're going to move to Ukraine, but guys, trust me, as soon as that war has stopped, the things will go downhill there as well. So then, like, where do you go? Where do you go if you're only delaying the inevitable? Viva la Antarctica. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Debbie Doobs, in fact, Matt, hang on. Right. Mark Hardman is saying we're living in a bad, perilous time and it's going to get worse. It is, Mark. It is going to get worse. As we know, there's no good no more. It is fantastic, guys. And it's like, it's like, I'm beyond are you beyond the stage now, guys? Are you beyond, guys, question for the group chat. Question for you guys, okay? Are you beyond expecting the government to stop this influx of boats? Like, are you beyond that? I know I am that. I was beyond this like over a year ago. But everybody thinks that something can be done. And what you're finding is the people who are waking up to the problems are 12 months behind everybody else. So people are waking up to these problems and they're walking down the high streets and they're going, oh, I'm gonna vote reform. I'm going to vote reform now. I voted Labour all my life, but I'm going to vote reform this time. And I'm saying, guys, look, that's not going to, it's going to change niente. Maku, what would they say? If I can imagine some of the politicians will be saying, let me get this right, because I mix Russian and I mix when I'm talking different languages, I mix them together. Hang on. So it would be Shabab, Malikalaka, which would be direct translation. If there's anybody who speaks Arabic better than me, that would be, guys, not my problem. And that to me is what I feel the politicians are saying to us, guys. Like, Shabab, Malikalaka, Momushkeltik, Malikalaka, Momushkeltik. So yeah, sorry guys, sorry, I digress. Shabab, Malikalaka, Momushkeltik, which would be, guys, I don't care. It's not my problem. I used to use that phrase quite a lot when my locals used to come into me with a problem. But yeah, it does seem like things are going from bad to worse every day, guys. It really does. It's absolutely bonkers. Linda Lou is saying, hi, Sean. Hi, Linda Lou. Four Paws is saying, Matt, we said that too. Debbie Doobs is saying, Matt, I just watched a video where a working immigrant lost his job, then the Home Office put him in a hotel. Well, that seems fair. That seems fair that they've got this support network, God forbid if they were coming to this country and we couldn't support them financially. There's always money. Lulu is saying there's always money for hotels. There is, isn't there? And it's just like, I don't know where I go with this. I don't know what I'm seeing. The only thing I can come to, guys, and it's subversion, guys, okay? Subversion. This is subversion. It's got to be subversion. There's no way that this is not near peer subversion, or I'd say peer subversion. Seb is saying, if I ever win the lottery, I will leave. Do you know what, Seb? You don't need to, you'll be surprised how much and how better the quality of life is if you move abroad. Gemini Blessing is saying evening all, evening all to Gemini Blessing. Silence is saying evening, Sean, and I'm saying silence, evening to you as well. Lee Smith is saying they're going to rise against us. Look what's happening in Spain. Yeah, guys, listen. A lot like the Second World War. Let me just listen, guys. I'm just going to put these two things together, okay? I went to the gym earlier and I've been in a bit of a rush and I've not been able to change my socks, so I'm just going to throw them over there. That's going to keep the flies out. So back in 1936, quite a few people actually say that the real beginning of the Second World War was 1938 with 1936 with the Spanish Civil War. And a lot of people don't realize this. We literally have the exact same scenario. Well, we could have the exact same scenario right now on our streets, guys, okay? Could be the new Spanish Civil War in 2026. People have had enough, guys. People have had enough. People don't care anymore. People don't care about the police. People don't care about the government. People have stopped caring. People have stopped paying taxes. People are leaving in droves. It's just insane, guys. Listen, remember, we have a golden generation. We do have a golden generation, guys. The golden generation is the kids who are 16 and under. Deborah Phillips will be living in gated communities. Absolutely, Deborah Phillips. Deborah Phillips, are you some sort of conspiracy theorist? Are you one of those conspiracy theorists we talk about, Deborah Phillips? Listen, guys, if you're on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, Deborah Phillips has just put a fantastic comment. We will be living in gated communities. Yeah, I first saw this when I was in South Africa. In Cape Town in South Africa. I was down there for a couple of months with work. And the majority of people in South Africa, in Cape Town, they live in gated communities. Now, these gated communities are just exactly what it says. It's houses with a little community with a gate. And the more money you've got, the more prestigious your gated community will be. And wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be fantastic, guys, if all these gated communities could, like, I don't know, they could come together and you could get everything you needed within 15 minutes. Wouldn't that be fantastic with these gated communities? Wouldn't that be great if we were using, like, you know, if you had a shop, a pub, a place of work, all within 15 minutes? Wouldn't that be fantastic? And then, you know what, guys? Let's just get rid of money. Let's just get rid of money and let's just have, like, cryptocurrency, because what is money anyway? What is it really apart from numbers on a screen? And you know what? What I think we should do, instead of having, like, bank cards, it's in my coat in the house, instead of having bank cards, is there any way we can have, like, a microchip in our right hand or something so we could, like, scan it? I don't know, like, maybe something like that. Am I going too far out there, guys? Am I going too far out there? And then the next time something happens in the world, you know, they can say, right, everyone, you have to have this medical intervention or we're going to close all your stuff off. I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking out loud. Debbie Doobs is saying they can't stop it now. Four Poses saying yes. Gemini Blessing is saying, I'm beyond everything with this country. Yeah, listen, guys, look, if you're at an age, if you are at an age where you can remember 1990, I mean, I know some of you won't be able to remember 1990 because you might be in that much state of inebriation, but if you can remember, like, 1990 to 99, I would say, I'm going to leave it there. You could go a little bit further. They were good years, man. They were good years. They were cool years. It was cool to be British in those years, guys. It really was. And right now, guys, we are in the fourth turning war cycle, fourth turning crisis cycle. Right, it does look from the chat, guys. It does look like from the chat, most people would say that most people would say that the government are not going to do anything about stopping the boats. And most people, I would say, from the chat, oh, hang on, I've just got a message through. And most people, I would say, have agreed that they've just lost hope in the government stopping the boats. Hang on, guys, I've just got to, hang on. Right, so hang on, guys. There's a big fire in London. Sarah's just sent me this. She's in the house. So, guys, we've got some breaking news developing. There's a big fire. Big fire. Residents being evacuated as crews. Right, I need to get this on the big screen, guys. Give me a second. Where is it gone? Hang on. Right, guys, we have got some breaking news here. Give me a second to get this up. So this has happened in the last couple of minutes. Hang on. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Right, where's that gone? Not Edge. Right, okay, we'll just go with it. Right, residents are being evacuated as crews battle 8-hectare grass blaze in London. Guys, listen, this does have all the hallmarks already of one of those things called of sabotage. Remember, this is what I said. This is one of the things I said would likely go up as part of sabotage. I'm not saying it's sabotage. I'm saying I've said previously that these are the things that are likely. Now, let me continue. Residents are being evacuated after 20 fire engines and around 125 firefighters were called to an 8-hectare grass fire in London. Shrubland trees, fences, garden furniture are burning behind Clements Road in Dagenham. Dagenham! I used to have a friend who lived in Dagenham, Denny Snell. Yeah, he's a right lad. I always love to go for a run in the morning. Danny to get his cobwebs off. Danny, calm down. Nobody wants to go for a run. Anyway, London Fire Brigade has advised residents to keep their doors and windows shut. That's it, isn't it, guys? That is literally the advice from the government. The country's collapsing. We're being overrun. Keep your doors and windows closed and stay in your house. No, we need more. We need more assertive. We need more assertions, guys. We need like a leader who's going to come up here and he's going to say, right, I want to start forming militias. Everyone, get down to your local army career, your local army barracks, and we're gonna tool you guys up. We're gonna deputize you. We're gonna give you all like sheriff's badges. Look, I'm all one for sheriff's badges. I've got like a HP printer. I can print like 10 off at a time. I'm all for printing sheriff's badges off, guys. I'm all for printing sheriff's badges off. Right, so let me continue. Yeah, tell people to stay inside. Right, 75 calls, 6:30 p.m. Dagenham. The cause of the fire at this stage is wow, guys. Listen, if you've not seen these scenes, these are absolutely apocalyptic scenes here, guys. Guys, breaking news, massive fire has broken out in London. I will say that these have the hallmarks of sabotage, guys. These big fires, they have the hallmark of sabotage. I'm not saying it is. What I'm saying is it's very easy to set fire to things, guys. It really is. And once you start setting fire to things, I don't know, substations, water pumping plants, gas terminals, food, because all these, I wouldn't do it anyway, but why would I set fire to the farmer's field with all the crops in? Ultimately, that's going to hit me in the pocket because the food's going to go up. But you know what? If you get your 3 meals a day regardless and you don't pay for them, I get my 3 meals a day, whatever, I get my 3 meals a day, I don't care. We are paying for our own demise, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Britain, the only country that pays for their own demise. Excuse me, yeah, do you want to invade us? Not really. Oh, please, we'll pay you. How much? Handsomely. Don't mind if I do. It's unbelievable. Anyway, guys, let me jump over and get these comments. Right, guys, there's quite a lot of comments jumping up on YouTube. I'll come on to them in a second. Let me jump down to the TikTok ones, guys. Okay. Right, guys, there's a lot of comments on TikTok as always when I've got the chat open. So I'm just jumping down, guys. I'm just jumping down. Yes, jumping down to the latest ones. Cassie is saying there was a man a roof today in Har Hills threatening to jump, but they eventually talked him down. Cassie, are you from Har Hills? Cassie, are you from Har Hills? Can you let me know if you're from Har Hills, Cassie? It'd be great if you could give us some. Some inside information on what's actually happening on the ground in Har Hills. I think I may be glitching. I may be glitching on TikTok. Right, I'm going to jump onto YouTube, guys. I'll minimize that screen. I'll close that. Right, let me close some of these screens down, actually, guys. I'm probably eating up a lot of my data with the hundreds of screens I've got open. That one can close. That one can close. Right, I'm closing a few screens here, guys. Right, I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, we're 25 minutes in, and I've not even asked you yet. Can you please do me a real big favour? And it is a big favour, guys, and it does mean a lot to me. Can you hit the follow button if you're watching on TikTok? Can you hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube? Can you hit the buttons up here and down there that help this channel grow? The like, the follow, the subscribe. Share it with your nan, your gran, your mum, your dad, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your cat, your dog, and your goldfish. Because everybody needs to know. Maybe not the goldfish. I don't know. It depends how smart your goldfish are. Depends if you've got like that hecklefish or not. You know that? What's that? That YouTube channel. There's a guy and he does some quite quirky videos, and he's got like a goldfish called Hecklefish. I can't remember what his channel is, but I do like his. I like his content. Right. Luke Jacob is saying evening. So is Emma Green. Lisa Jane is saying, I think I will get a dinghy to New Zealand and claim asylum. Yeah, can we claim asylum? I would speculate that Donald Trump at some point is going to put something up for British people escaping. Slim is saying, good evening, fine people, making dinner, so lurking. So Slim's making dinner. And Emma Green is saying she's from Dagenham. So listen, Emma Green's actually in Dagenham right now, guys. Excuse me. Emma Green is actually in Dagenham right now. So, Emma Green, are you aware of this fire that's going on, this blazing inferno in Dagenham? And from now is saying goldfish. Oh, right, okay, right. No, I'll read your previous comment because the other one was swearing. We're still streaming on TikTok and the algorithm doesn't like it. So from the channel I'm talking about, guys, on YouTube, it's called the Y Files. It's really good, guys. It's a really good channel. Right, anyway, let me jump up. In fact, where are we, guys? Where are we? I want to give an update on this hotel because, guys, listen, there's more shenanigans planned for this weekend. There's more shenanigans planned for Wednesday. So let me just do a quick update for you guys. Let me find this quick update, guys, okay? So as I understand it, there's another protest planned at the Bell Hotel this Wednesday. Now, I may be wrong with that, guys. I'm just trying to find something here. No, I can't find it. Right, I can't. Let me try and find this again, guys. Bell Hotel, Epping, next protest. I can't find it. Right, guys, does somebody know more about this than me? Because I'm sure I saw a video. I'm sure I saw a video today, and there was a girl in the video, and she was saying there's going to be another protest. There's going to be another protest at the Bell Hotel this Wednesday. Now, all these things feed into each other, guys. All these things feed into each other. So then at the weekend on the 19th, you've got the Great British Beach Party in Dover. Hang on. I can't find that either. Right, maybe I'm just making this up, guys. Maybe I'm just making this up. Beach Party Dover. Yeah, 19th of July, guys. 19th of July. Yeah, I was right. Oh, 2 out. 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Yeah, so it is there, guys. It's going to be on the 19th of Dover. 19th of Dover, party on the beach, a stage, a big screen, bikers, farmers are attending to. It does look like it's going to be a tear up there. Look, guys, look, think of what you want of Rupert Lowe. Right, think of what you want of Rupert Lowe. Keir Starmer did put a tweet out earlier on. Keir Starmer put a tweet out earlier on X. I mean, honestly, Rupert Lowe's brilliant. And Rupert Lowe tweeted underneath it. He said, "At this point, I would rather have a pigeon running the country. At least there's a chance of him making the right decision." Honestly, I mean, fair play to him. I mean, that was savage. Right, let me jump down. Anyway, right, where are we? Right, Linda Lou. So listen, guys, I'm gonna tag this because Linda Lou's saying it's the Great British National Protest. Now, as I understand, this can't be. Look, guys, I might be wrong on this. Look, guys, I don't know all the answers. as I understand it, this is not a protest. Guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. But as I understand it, this is not a protest because they applied to have a protest, but the local council said, no, you can't have a protest. So what they said is, right, well, what we're going to do is we're just going to have a day on the beach, like a beach party. I might be wrong on that, guys. I might be wrong. I may be wrong. I don't know. Deza. Oh, this is the big one, guys. I'm going to pin this. Let me pin this, and then let me see if I can find this in on the mainstream media. I can't find anything on the. I can't find anything, guys, on the mainstream media. I can't find anything about a mosque on fire on the mainstream media. So let me have a look on X quickly, guys, okay? Okay, so from 3 hours ago, guys, I'm definitely seeing pictures of a mosque on fire. I don't know where this mosque is. I'm trying to find. Yeah, I mean, literally, guys, this is from 2 hours ago. People are saying that this is Pierre Mosque. So apparently, there's a lot of. Okay, guys. So on X, right? There's a lot of articles on X. There's certainly images of a mosque on fire on X. I don't know what this is, guys. It might be true, it might not be. But there's a lot of people saying that the Spanish have set fire to the Pierre Mosque in Barcelona. It does, yeah. So people are saying that this is happening right now, guys. Okay, this is a couple of hours old. Yeah, it does look like there's a mosque on fire. Look, this may be true, it may not be true. I genuinely don't know. But it does look like people are burning mosques down now people are burning mosques down in France. But look, guys, when we look at all this stuff, I mean, listen, guys, when I said the summer of carnage was coming, I thought this would be isolated to the United Kingdom. It does look like this summer of carnage is going to be a global thing. All over Europe, guys, all over Europe. Right, Linda Lou is saying that's the group name. If anybody wants to look for it, it's not a protest. Right, okay, yeah, okay, so yeah, okay. Yeah, so we're just talking there, guys. Listen, guys, if you live near Dover, if you live in Kent, there's a big party on the beaches this weekend. Guys, can you imagine, right? Can you imagine what's going to happen? I mean, maybe no boats will come. Maybe no boats. In fact, I would speculate, hang on, how boats going to come? It's a good question, isn't it? Are boats going to come? Yeah, of course they are. Of course the boats are going to come. Yeah, of course they are, because the boats don't come all the way in. The boats get, the taxi goes out and picks them up. So, I would say, yes, the boats will still be coming. James is saying, I wonder when William the Conqueror invaded, people in the UK wrote angry messages to each other. And Desert is saying, concerned citizen tweeted about it. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, can I just jump off screen quickly and get myself a bottle of water? Because honestly, I really don't think there are enough hours in the day. Honestly, guys, like since I left the live stream earlier, I've been out, I've been running errands, I've been putting spreadsheets together, I've been coming back, I've been making bottles of wine for people, I've been doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So let me jump off screen, ladies and gentlemen. Let me all get into the fridge. I'm not going to get a carbonated drink just yet. What I'm going to get is I am going to get a nice bottle of water, and I hope you've got 3 litres of water per person per day stored somewhere. And then I'm just going to jump right back on, and I will go on to the YouTube comments, guys, because there's a lot of comments jumping up on the YouTube. Oh, guys, if you are thinking about getting this water to store, don't. get the big bottles, because I keep dipping into this and I'm conscious I keep dipping into it. And like, you know, the primary water that's in the big fridge, not that we've got stored, I do keep dipping into that. So bottoms up. Skull. Right, yeah. So, guys, listen, there is a fire breaking out right now. Anyway, right, let's go back. So, let's consider the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's consider the scenes on Wednesday, all right? Right, James, am I not allowed to drink water? James, be honest. Right, am I not allowed to drink on? Am I not allowed to drink on the lives? Because I've had a few lives banned before for just, and I thought it was because I was drinking coffee. But do I get a restriction? Do I get a restriction, guys, for drinking water? I don't know if I do. I don't know if I do. I don't know all the rules and stuff to it, but if somebody can let me know that, I would be very happy about that. Hang on, guys. There's an update here on Epping. Right, anyway, so you can imagine the scenes now, ladies and gentlemen, as we're moving into the summer. And I keep saying this, guys, over and over again. Okay, sorry, Rod, you're right, Rod. Rod is right. Listen, Rod's keeping me on the straight and narrow. I'm going to jump over to the YouTube channels. Lisa Jane is saying hosepipe ban in Gloucester, Berkshire, Wiltshire and Oxfordshire from next week. Like, how many times have I said this, guys, about the water system right now? Yorkshire Water were the first ones to go. Yorkshire Water, driest spring on records, driest spring ever. And then I think, was it Trent Water? I think Trent Water then had a hosepipe ban. And Lisa Jane saying hosepipe ban in Gloucester, Berkshire, Wiltshire and Oxfordshire from next week. Look, guys, I said this earlier on. Where we live, there's like I don't know what it's called, but it's where a canal drops levels. So I don't know what it's called. There's probably a name for it, but it's where a canal drops levels, and there's water here, and then there's like an overflow. It's not a waterfall, but it's like an overflow. There's nothing overflowing. It's dry. Like, you could walk on it. I've never seen that in my life, guys. Never seen that in my life. It's not only dry, there's grass growing out of it. So you can see how dry things are, you know. You can see how dry things are at the moment. And listen, even anecdotally, when we've been on the live stream, and I've been saying, and the reason I was keeping an eye on it is because I've done some roof repairs to the roof, obviously, and I wanted a good downpour so I could get up on the loft and, you know, have a look to see if the roof repair is waterproof. And I've been thinking, right, when are we having some rain? And a month went by, and then 2 months went by, and then you're like, how long has it actually been since we had some rain? And remember when I was saying, guys, listen, I want to say it's about 4 months. I mean, it might be 3 months, but it might be 4, because obviously you've not got a date on this. But it turns out I was way wrong. It's 6 months. The last time we had some rain, the last time we had significant rain where we live in Yorkshire was January. Can you imagine that, guys? Okay, the last time we had significant rain in the UK was January. So we have just been using all the all the water that's in the reservoirs. That's just been going down and down and down and down and down and down and down. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, counter to popular belief, when there's no water left, nobody's drinking. That's just the reality. But yeah, Lisa Jane is saying more, more hosepipe bans are going to come in force this, I think this weekend, next week, sorry. Emma Green over on YouTube is saying, yes, I am. It's madness what's going on. I'm waiting on more information from my friend. Okay, so Emma Green is actually, sorry, Emma, it's taken me so long to get back to your comments. So Emma Green is actually in Dagenham, and she's trying to get updates on this fire that's happening. And she also saw a video from the hotel protest in Epping, and it wasn't pretty. I've stayed in that hotel before they got plonked there. Isn't it a shame, guys? Isn't it a shame that all these beautiful little country hotels, there was one there's a hotel by Stansted. I think it might actually be called the Stansted Arms. By Stansted Airport. And I remember when I was in the military, I was coming back from somewhere, and we got a civilian flight, and we came through Stansted. And for some reason, I can't remember what the reason was. They couldn't get anyone to pick us up, so they put us in this hotel. The army booked us this, like, it's like in a little, it was beautiful, guys, absolutely beautiful. And now it's a migrant hotel, and I'm like, wow, these are like really beautiful places, and it's fun. It's fantastic. It really is, guys, but not in it's fantastic, but not in a good way. And Lisa Jane is saying 1 million awarded to Notting Hill Festival. I don't know why they need money for Notting. Guys, look, I'm just going to call it now. I don't care whether people like this or not. I think the Notting Hill Carnival is disgusting. Like, can you imagine, right? Can you imagine if it was like, can you imagine if that was an Iron Maiden concert? Iron Maiden would be banned. They'd be banned. They're like, yeah, we're not having you anymore. We're not doing that anymore, Iron Maiden. Like, can you imagine if, like, if at the Gallagher Brothers concert, Oasis, not the Gallagher Brothers, if at this Oasis concert, there was that sort of debauchery going on, it'd be banned. No more Oasis concerts. Your fans are wild. But it's allowed to go in on the Notting Hill Carnival. I can remember this woman. I can't. She's a black woman. She's very articulate. She's a very articulate woman. She's quite outrageous in what she's saying, and I can't remember her name. And she was talking about the Notting Hill, and she was like saying, oh yeah, it's very good. It's very peaceful. I'm thinking, and then there's a guy talking to her, he's saying, and he reels off all the crimes, and she's trying to give him some like statistic of this, saying like, it just makes no sense. It makes no sense to me anymore, guys. Right, let me jump down. From now, he's saying, I will definitely subscribe. What's the best TikTok or YouTube? Right, from now, I would say whatever you want, buddy. From now, whatever you want, buddy. Whatever you want. It's totally up to you. I know the algorithm is a lot more strict on TikTok, and I can say more than what I want. More than what I want. I can say more on YouTube. From now, he's also saying, excuse me. From now, he's also saying Trump said he threatened to bomb Moscow, apparently. Right, let me jump up and get this, guys. Let me see if he did. Trump, I struggle to see that, but let's have a look. Right, okay. So Trump said okay, right, so I'll read you this, guys, off the I'll read you this, and then there's been an update on this as well on right, okay. So Trump said, and this is from CNN, so all you guys who are like clicking them buttons saying Sean's giving fake news, this is an article from 2024. Trump said so this is from CNN. Trump said he threatened to bomb Moscow if Putin attacks Ukraine. 2024 fundraiser tips show. So I think this is an old article that Trump said a long time ago. I'm not going to go into that much more, guys. It's an old article being recycled because I've just seen something that's a lot more relevant. Right, so Ukraine war latest. Right. Earlier on, we was on the live stream, and people were saying, like, Sean, what's happening in Ukraine? The Americans are giving weapons to Ukraine. And I said, listen, guys, this is a financial decision. You know, Trump's a businessman at the end of the day. So here we have it. This is from Sky News. Ukraine war latest. Trump says deal made to sell weapons to NATO to help Ukraine. Yeah. So there we have it, guys, okay? Donald Trump isn't giving anything to anyone. Donald Trump is selling stuff to NATO, and NATO are giving that to Ukraine. What? I mean, look, fair play to Donald Trump. So Donald Trump gets to have his cake and eat it too. So here we have, guys. So for those of you guys who are trying to like understand what's just happened, it was all over the mainstream media that the Americans are going to be giving lethal aid back to Ukraine. Turns out what that actually really means is NATO countries, i.e. Britain, France, Germany, Poland, NATO countries will be paying America for their weapons. They'll be shipped to NATO countries. They are then property of those NATO countries. So, for example, Germany will buy, look, guys, I'm just taking this off there. And this is why you're here. You're here for my real-time analysis. So, for example, Germany could buy £100 million worth of surface-to-air missiles. They're American, right? Once that sale's done, they're then German. Like that, they're your missiles now, Germany. Do what you want with them. If you want to give them to Ukraine, give them to Ukraine. If you want to bury them in the dirt, bury them in the dirt. Do what you want for me. So you see how Donald Trump gets the headlines. He gets to still keep the finances coming in, but then he gets to say, listen, I'm not helping Ukrainians. I'm just selling stuff to NATO. And you know what, guys? I think that's fair, because what he will say then is he will say, well, look, hang on a minute. China's selling stuff. I mean, what's the difference? So, yeah, I do think that's, I'm saying now that is what's happening. Donald Trump says he is very unhappy with Russia and gives Vladimir Putin, he's giving him 50 days now. He's giving him 50 days. Can you guys remember when he gave him a 2-week ultimatum? So, Vladimir, I'm not very happy. Like, guys, look, we're going to forget in 50 days, aren't we? There's going to be so much more stuff happen in 50 days. Who's going to be remembering what's happening in 50 days, guys? Not me, for one. But he just said, I'm just going to read this, right? Donald Trump says he is very unhappy with Russia and gives Vladimir Putin a 50-day ultimatum. I mean, like, what's he going to do on 51 days? Like, on 51 days, what's he going to do? As the US president meets NATO chief Mark Rutte, I think that's how we need to spell, or Mark Rutte, at the White House. Follow the latest below. He's got a very nice suit, Mark Rutte. He's got a very nice suit, and his tie is very well done. Right, let me jump down. Live updates 11 minutes ago, guys. 11 minutes ago, right? Okay, so from 11 minutes ago, Trump weapons announcement could lead to rearmament of Ukraine. Donald Trump's announcement, he will sell weapons now to give to Ukraine. Like, I'm going to give Ukraine those weapons, but somebody's going to pay for them. Like, that's not giving, mate. Like, if you've got if you've got a market stall, and if you've got a charity, if you've got a charity and you turn up with a load of soup and you're like, I'm going to give away all this soup, but you got to pay for it. Woo, hang on a minute. That's not giving it away. That's like selling it, surely. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But look, let's continue. Donald Trump's announcement of sell weapons to Ukraine could lead to the rearmament of Kiev's military forces. Look, guys, it doesn't matter. They don't have the manpower. The Ukrainians don't have the manpower, guys. That is the reality. They don't have the manpower. The US president didn't give many details, but confirmed Patriot anti-missile system would be sold to NATO. I mean, listen, guys, say what you want about Donald Trump. He's pulled a blinder there for the Americans. he has pulled a blinder for the US military-industrial complex and the tax revenue that is going to generate. Fair play to him. Ukraine's defense minister to hold discussions with US envoy in Kiev. Zelensky thanks Trump. Like, Zelensky thanks Trump. Like, no. Like, you can say what you want to Trump. Right, honestly, guys, this is how business works, all right? If you're selling something, all right, doesn't matter what the person says to you that's buying it. You can be as ungrateful as you want when you're buying something because you're giving him money, right? I've never heard of a deal fall through because the purchaser was mean to the procurer. Doesn't work like that. But anyway, so Zelensky's thanking Trump. I thank you, Donald Trump. Hang on, he's done a little speech here. I'm grateful to President Donald Trump for his readiness to protect our people's lives. This war continues solely because of Russia, because of Putin's desire to drag it out. Russia is trying to make the war seem like the new normal. We must never give up with this. That was my best Zelensky voice, guys. Sorry, I do apologize if it's not up to the Zelensky that you guys are used to. That was from his Twitter as well, his X. Yeah. Anyway, guys, so it does look like Donald Trump's selling weapons now, not giving them. Right. Anyway, let me jump down and get the rest of these comments on YouTube, guys. There's so many comments on YouTube. Thank you so much. Right. So for now, he's saying Ukraine pawns the cash off Starmer, us taxpayers. Yeah, guys, look, it is going to be ultimately the British taxpayers that's like the British taxpayers, not just the British taxpayers, guys, and the British taxpayers. It's going to be the French taxpayers. It's going to be the Germans. The Polish, everybody basically we're all going to be chipping in for these weapons. Donald Trump's going to be like laughing, going, hey, Donald Trump's going to be laughing. The US military industrial complex is going to be laughing. And, ultimately, when you buy these things, they go kaboom. So you never really get anything out of them. Right, yeah, UK protests in Dover this weekend. Candy Rocks is saying war is equal to money. That's it. Do you know what? In wars, people get rich and people transcend to beams of light. And that, you know what? I think Elon Musk said it best. War. Hang on. Let me get this right. So I think Elon Musk, I'm sure he got this off someone else. I think Elon Musk said it the best. War is young people fighting and transcending each other to beams of light. Young people, sorry, I fluffed it. War, Elon Musk said something like, war is young people that don't know each other fighting on behalf of old people who know each other. Yeah, he said that. But the war does make a lot of money, guys, okay? And unfortunately, it's the wrong type of money. It is the wrong type of money. Like, look, guys, and I've not said this for a while, and I think I need to say this every live stream. I would much rather the world be heading in a direction where we're going into space, we're collecting asteroids, we're putting huge solar farms around the sun. Got a base on the moon. We're mining helium-3 for nuclear fusion. We've got unlimited energy sources, clean, renewable energy. Like, that's the future that I want. That's like my expectation, and then the reality is like bombs and stuff going off in different parts of the world that have absolutely no relevance. Because after all these things are over, guys, they'll go back to normal. Look at what happened in Afghanistan. Look at what happened in Afghanistan. It's absolutely insane. Literally 20 years sounded like the Meerkat from sounded like Alexander Orlov from the Meerkat advert, says Paul Poop. I'll come on to the Manchester 2 in a minute, guys. But we've got all this stuff happening, and when these wars end, they literally goes back to normal. And in 5-10 years' time after they end, like, people are like, what did we just do? What was that all for? Like, why did we do that? Like, lots of people didn't come back. Why did we do that? But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is the world we live in. I can only tell you what's happening. Right, let me get you guys an update on the Manchester 2. Not really got any updates, guys. Not really got any updates on it at the moment. It's kind of like, no, there's no real updates on it at the moment. I can't find anything on X, and again, it just seems strange. Like, there's no, there was nothing on the mainstream media either about, hang on. There was nothing on the mainstream media about this Bell Hotel in Epping. Oh, hang on, we have got a bit of an update. Hang on, guys, we have got an update from a couple of hours ago. Right, okay. Armed police tells Manchester Airport assault trial it wasn't an option to walk away. Wow. Okay, so is that what we do now? Is that what we do now where there's criminals? We walk away. PC Ellie Cook described suffering as a series of blows during a violent confrontation at Manchester Airport, July 23rd last year. Guys, these things are coming round again. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to happen again. Not this incident, obviously. A police officer who suffered, this is from Manchester Evening News, guys, all right? So all you guys there, Sean, see me fake news. Police officer who suffered a series of blows when she and other armed police officers attempted to detain two brothers at Manchester Airport has told a jury it wasn't an option to walk away from such a violent individual. So, like, is that what we're saying now? If you're an armed, look, guys, I'm just reading this, guys, okay? So are we saying that now? Has somebody put the question to her, why didn't you walk away? Like, is that what we expect our police to do? So imagine the scene, armed police, you go in there, you're the armed police, you've got all your tactical gear, and you've got a guy swinging punches. Back off, lads, back off, he's too wild with his fists. Let's go back. Who are we going to call? I don't know. Batman, he fights with his fists. Like, it's insane. I was showing my friends this, especially the guys in Texas. Like, there's a different way Texas police would have dealt with this gentleman. PC Ellie Cook described coming under attack during a violent confrontation last year as a trial of the two men accused of assault. Remember, these two gentlemen have denied the charges, so we're going to have to find out. I mean, I know what I've seen, but they're denying it, so we're going to have to give them you're going to have to give the jury their fair, their fair course. As a trial of the two men accused of assault resumed at Liverpool Crown Court today, the officer took the witness stand and told the court by the time of the incident, she had been a police officer for 6 years and had qualified as an authorised firearms officer based at Manchester Airport 2 months earlier. Oh, what are we doing giving women firearms, guys? I don't know. That's just, to me, that's not a thing. That's just not a thing, guys, all right? It shouldn't happen. Call me a dinosaur. Call me a dinosaur, guys. Call me a dinosaur. I don't think it should happen. I just don't think it should happen. And I would say as well, there's probably men who are more qualified than her that got the knockback because they wanted a more diverse force. Mohammed Amaz, 20, and his brother Mohammed Ahmad, 26, both they give their addresses, deny assaulting the armed police and say they acted in self-defense. Fair play to them, guys. Look, fair play to them. Mohammed was captured, they're both Mohammed, aren't they? Mohammed Amaz was captured throwing 10 punches, 2 elbow strikes, wow, and 1 kick whilst his brother Mohammed Amaz is seen throwing 6 punches during a CCTV previously played to the jury. Yeah, so it goes on, guys. I'm not going to read any further. I think this has been I think that woman's been on the trial today, guys. I mean, look, guys. Call me a dinosaur. Call me a dinosaur, guys. I don't think women should be firearms officers. I don't. I think that is men's work. All right, that's men's work. You know, if there was, you know, if we came to a scenario where, like, you know, you come to a room and you've got like firearms officers and they're all men, and like kettle officers and they're all women, I'm fine with that. You start mixing them up, guys, and bad things happen. No, I'm not sorry. Right, hang on. Where are we? Candy Rocks is saying, me with a poo-poo lethal. Look, guys, I'm not saying that women shouldn't. Let me open that up a little bit more, guys. Let me open that up a little bit more. I do think in the United Kingdom there should be laws where women can carry. I do, guys. I do think women should be allowed to carry it. I think that is, you know, I absolutely think that is 100% honest, guys. Okay, I think women should be able to carry. Like you've got like look at this incident here, guys, in Manchester Airport. That man attacked allegedly. That man attacked an armed officer. That's allegedly. I mean, I've seen the videos. She couldn't do anything. She couldn't do anything. So, like, you can imagine that, like, a man attacking a woman outside Tesco's to try and get her car keys. What's she going to do? Like, literally, what is she going to do? Like I always say, guys, okay, run, all right? Run. That's what you do. You run. Don't think about honor or, like, saving your shopping. You run. So I do actually think, though, like, there should be laws now introduced in the United Kingdom where private individuals, private citizens can carry. Because honestly, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty much like John Wick when I get one of those things in my hands. But anyway, right, let's jump over to the YouTubes. For now, he's saying some people love Trump, but he is not here to help the UK. You see, I think Donald Trump has a soft spot for the Anglosphere. I do, guys. I think Donald Trump has a soft spot for the Anglosphere. Muzakamu is saying, how can they deny it? We're talking about the Manchester Airport. He said, look, guys, I don't know how they can deny it. I don't know. They're claiming, Musakamu on YouTube is saying, how can they deny it? Well, what they've said is, the Manchester 2, they've said that because 3 police officers approached them to arrest them, that was excessive use of force, and they responded to defend themselves. I mean, look, guys, if they get off with it, like I would say there's better than a non-zero chance. In fact, there's more. I think there's a good. I'm not going to say I think there's a good chance, but I think there's a chance that they could actually get off with this, guys. I really do. I think they could get off with this. Lisu is saying, Sean, have you watched G.I. Jane? Yes, I have. I've also watched Batman, Pan's Labyrinth, Peter Pan. I've also watched The Matrix. Women are no good in combat situations, guys. They're not. I don't care what, you know, I don't care. I've worked in those spheres, you know, and when you have a woman on your, guys, again, call me a dinosaur. If you've got a woman on your team and things start going dynamic and start getting kinetic, that woman becomes an instant liability. And you know what? I'm going to give you a little story when I jump over to, I'm going to give you a little story about, I'm not going to mention any units. I'm going to give you a little story when I jump over to YouTube in a minute, guys, okay, of an incident involving a female reporter on a roof of a building in Afghanistan that was getting overrun. I'll give you a little story. I'm going to tell you how wild it actually was. But anyway, yeah, I just don't think women should be on, you know, on frontline duty. I don't think women should have that, should be there, guys. I don't, because I know how this recruitment works. I know that there'll be a quota saying and I've been there, guys. I've been there when I used to work for the European Union in Baghdad. They said, yeah, we need. I think they wanted 10% of the teams to have women on them. So it was like, what? You're like, yeah, we want 10% of your team to have women. So it was like, right, okay. We had to have people from. We had to have representation from all over the EU. It was just bonkers, guys. It was bonkers. And what we did is we got them all. We used to call them the pot washers. We used to get them all. We put them in one team. It was called Team 5 or Set 5. We got them all in Team 5, and they just did the airport runs while we went to the gym. That was what they were good for. Anyway, guys. But yeah, sorry, I was digressing then. Sorry, let me. Right, guys, listen. I'm going to jump over to YouTube now, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. I do apologize. I do apologize that I've not managed to get all your comments on YouTube, guys. I really do, guys. Okay. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. I'm going to start with a little anecdote about something that happened in Afghanistan on a rooftop involving a sniper, a press reporter, and a little thing about this big made of metal that you put something in here and stuff comes out at the end. Anyway, guys, I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Follow me on there, guys. Give me a like, a follow, a subscribe. If you're not going to go over to YouTube, I'll see you in the morning at 10 or thereabouts. Right, I'm just going to turn this off now, guys, and we are we off? Are we off? No, are we off? Yes, we're off. Yes, we're off. Right, so as promised, guys. I can't remember what year this was. I think it was like, I want to say 2006, but it was like, it'll either been like 2005, 2006, or 2007. There was a unit in a building in Afghanistan. It was all going south. The unit was the bad guys were getting really close, and it was about to get overrun. The top of the roof, everybody was shooting, guys. It was a massive gunfight. There was GPMGs blasting from all corners, people screaming for ammunition, people running with ammunition. There was casualties. There was mortars going off. There was explosions going out. There was explosions coming in. There was I can't remember where she was from, but there was a press crew attached to the said unit on the roof. And this woman, I mean, if you've ever seen women like scared, this is what I see. You know, she was just absolutely petrified. You know, she's there with her press body armor on, and you know, she's got press body armor on, a little press helmet. She's screaming. She's got fingers in her ears, and somebody who was allegedly a sniper ran past her, and he saw how bad she was, and he gave her his pistol, and he said something really like Chad, something like there's 15 in there. Save one for yourself, and he ran off. And then when he got back, he just said, "Lads, I've literally just said this to that woman," and everybody was laughing about it. And you know, but listen, guys, I do know how. Look, guys, and this is my experience of women, how women react in these kinetic situations, in these dynamic environments where, let's face it, guys, all it was is somebody throwing fists around, and it's not like you know. A man would have dealt with that a lot differently than just crying and screaming and stuff. But anyway, guys, let's get on and let's get these questions. For now, we say, my mum shot me with a 2-2 air rifle by accident. Don't give them guns, just no. Oh, look, guys, I do think women, I do think the laws need to change in the United Kingdom. I do, guys. I think the laws in the United Kingdom need to change and be more in line with the United States. I'm not talking about these long ones. I'm not talking about these long ones with telescopic sights and that. I totally get that they are like kind of offensive weapons. What I mean by offensive and defensive, like if you're using a 9mm, if you're using a 9mm, like, I don't know, whatever, realistically, you're not going to hit anything out past 30, 40 meters. It's just not going to happen. Yes, I know we've all seen YouTube videos of people going ting, 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 ting. I get that. But the reality is you ain't hitting anything. Like, a more likely scenario to you to use a 9mm pistol is at about 5 to 7 meters, guys, because that is the range that you need to be on, and you just need to pull it and shoot. With your rifles, you're looking at 300 meters or potentially 600 meters as a section, a group of people. So when you're talking about these ranges, I don't see I see the argument for assault rifles, and I do see that argument, guys. I really do. We don't have the situation in the UK that we don't have the what's the word? We don't have the culture that they do in America. You know. And I would support the Americans for that, but I know it's very unlikely that's going to change in the United Kingdom. I do think there's a strong argument with knife crime in the United Kingdom. I mean, like, how is a woman supposed to protect? How is anyone supposed to protect their kids or their family if somebody comes at them with a knife? I mean, what are you supposed to do? Phone 999 and wait for a couple of minutes? Like, what are you supposed to do? Yeah, I'm phoning 999. Yeah, oh, you're on hold, right? Hang on. How many times has he stabbed you? 6. All right, well, hang on a minute. We'll have a car there soon. Can you just confirm? No, I'm getting stabbed. You see where I'm going, guys? You see where I'm going with this? I do think there's a strong argument for PPWs, or personal protection weapons, as you would call them. I do see that there is should be a strong argument, guys. A strong argument for low caliber 9mm pistols, for example. Limited magazines. You only need like 10 rounds or something. 10 round mag. Let's keep it a full fat one, guys. Let's go with 15 round magazines. But because we have an epidemic with knife crime at the moment. And how do you stop somebody with a knife? You don't. You just let them go. So I would speculate that if the government said, right, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce new gun laws. We're going to let people carry. Like, if I got the chance and somebody was waving a knife around, and I'm just saying, guys, if it was all above board and legal, I would be more than happy to abide by the law. Slim says he disagrees. I disagree. Put all the feminists on the front line. All right, we're going to put all the feminists on the front line. Oh, I don't know. I think they just be arguing amongst each other. And again, another thing let me turn this light on, guys. Give me a second. And another thing that having women on the front line does, it drives like. So again, the same contract. So we was in Baghdad, and then it came through from like the head office from the EU that we had to have 10%. We actually swizzled it to get more money, but it came through from a directive from the EU that we had to have 10% women on the team. So anyway, we got another team because we said, right, we can't sack people. We're going to have another team. So we got another team. We got more funding. Anyway, what happened is, you start to see little cliques, and and then it was a fantastic contract, guys. We had this big villa in the middle of Baghdad. There was a gym on the roof. It was awesome. It was just full of men walking around in their pants, going to the gym, keeping like really, really fit. It was just fantastic. On a Friday, we'd have Chick Flick Friday. Once a month, we'd have a morale barbecue. It was awesome. The 10% girls turned up. And all of a sudden, I don't know why, but the Irish people, straight away the Irish used to do this. They started wearing gel in their hair and started having deodorant. And it was like, wow, you lot have just turned absolutely gay. Overnight, you've just become homosexuals. And it came down to loggerheads. And honestly, it was just disgusting because there was an incident. I can't remember what it was. It was one of the lads' birthdays, Mick. It was Mick's birthday, and he was Irish, and nobody bought him a cake. And then one of the other girls, one of the girls had a birthday 2 days later, and Jim, who was also Irish, had a whip round and bought her a cake. And we just sat there in the living room, and Jim saying, "Oh yes, we got her a cake." He said, "I love the cake. The Iraqis make fantastic cakes, guys." And then Mick just said, Well, you didn't get me a cake. It was my birthday 2 days ago. And like just straight away, everybody said, "You what, Mike?" He's like, "You never got me a cake. I didn't get a cake. I didn't even get fuck all." And then like everybody was like, "Yeah, fucking hell, Mike. Yeah, you're a knobhead at gym." And then it just set this wedge, but like in the group now. So everybody used to get on. Now there's a wedge in the group. I actually stole Jim's. He had a bottle of HP sauce. Brown HP sauce, because those guys used to bring bacon and sausages and stuff, and I think like on a Sunday or something they have like a little breakfast club. So I stole his, I actually stole his HP sauce, and we made a Facebook page of his HP sauce, and we added everybody, and we had him like in really like the HP sauce in really wild places. And he came to me, Jim. He came to me, Jim. He goes, "Here, Sean, I know you've got my HP sauce. I want it back." I just cracked out laughing. I mean, this is like a grown man coming and like trying to get like borderline aggressive with me for his HP sauce. He didn't get it back. I was just like, yeah, not a chance you're having that HP sauce back. That baby's mine. Anyway, I don't condone stealing, guys. I don't condone stealing. I don't condone stealing. But it's taking condiments for your own use. Isn't the word condiment? Isn't the word condiment Latin for everyone can use them? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not as well. Right, guys, I'm going to jump down as well. Jane Taylor says HDR 50. I don't know what. Oh, yeah. So the HDR 50, that's like the air gun thing. Look, guys, I've seen these air guns. I mean, guys, look, I've been like, hang on. No. I've done a lot of tactical firearms training where I train people. I've also done a lot of tactical firearms training where I'm actually getting taught stuff myself. You know, and like all these like little air guns and stuff, they don't do anything, guys. You know, they don't do anything. I think the law needs to change. You know, I really just think I think the law needs to change by just jumped over. Looks like TikTok had another tantrum. No, I did close the live stream down on TikTok, guys. But anyway, let me jump down. Matt is saying 20-year-olds today have about the same amount of testosterone as a 70-year-old from the 1970s. Where's all this information coming from, guys? Where's all this information coming from? I know. I think where this comes from is. So I think this has got something to do with the food. I think they put like estrogen or something in. I think they put extra estrogen in food, in animals, in livestock to like fatten them up. I think that's where it comes from. But I don't know. James Broke is saying, "Who has HP sauce? It's sick." It is not sick. But listen, guys, there is nothing. There is nothing in life better than a bacon and egg sandwich with HP brown sauce on it, guys. There's nothing on this world or any other planet that is as good or equal to, which is as good. There's nothing better than or equal to a bacon sandwich with egg and bacon sandwich with HP sauce. April Lee is saying, "You need to see that lad I teach. We have no chance." Right, April. I may have missed your last. You need to see the lads I teach. Right. Okay. I think we're talking about potential military service there. Right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been fantastic as always. I'm going to close. Oh, hang on. Max Dagnall, any updates on the fires? Do you know what? I will give an update on the fires because this is quite an interesting one, isn't it? Give me a second. Right, 25 minutes ago. Right. No, I don't want to pay. Homes evacuated as grass fire tackled in Dagenham. Hang on, there's a map. More than 120 firefighters. It said the fire was behind Clements Road. The brigade said we're making steady progress. Residents being told to keep their doors and windows closed. Each vehicle, wildfire beaters. They're using wildfire beaters. I love a wildfire beater. Look, guys, when I was in the army and you was on the Rangers, if like you use a lot of tracer, that tracer sets fire to stuff. So when something gets set fire on the range, you have to run out with these wildfire beaters. It's like a stick with like a rubber flap on the end, and you have to beat the fire with it. But that's what they're using apparently. So the fire brigade is saying they're using wildfire beaters, a long handle with a flat piece of rubber at the end, like I just said, to beat the flame. And they say technology's not made any advances. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, they're saying the cause of the fire is unknown at this point. Look, guys, I can't say that this is sabotage. I can't. What I can say is fields burn, all right? People don't like our country, will set fire to stuff. That's the reality, guys, okay? People who don't like our country will set fire to things. And it just adds to the strain on the emergency services. It adds to the strain on the capacity, because you can imagine now if a real, sorry, this is a real fire, but you can imagine if a fire broke out at a block of flats or something, and you've got these guys on scene here, like, which one takes priority? The fire that they're at, or the fire of the block of flats? You'd say the fire of the block of flats. So, right, okay. So you've got to pack all your kit away, put it back on the engine, and then they call them pumps or something, don't they? Put it back on the truck and then drive it there. So you see what's, you see where it's going, don't you, guys? And again, if you're going to plan, so if you're a bad guy, right, and you're going to plan an incident that you know is going to cause fires, you're gonna set a wildfire first, just outside the area that you're gonna use, because that's gonna delay the response time. Right, we're all talking about what we have in our bacon sandwiches, guys. Fantastic. Slim is saying potato. Right, guys. Everybody's talking about bacon sandwiches now. Are we all hungry? Have we all started a bacon sandwich revolt? The bacon sandwich revolt. So when I used to do, hang on, how do I put this? I used to work on I don't want to sound too gruesome. I was working in Ukraine. I was right out on the front line. I went out and I was stationed with this unit, and they'd given us nothing, guys. They'd literally given us nothing. And as we drove down, we had one of those metal storage containers to like live and admin out of it. It was hard, guys. When we got down there and they said, yeah, I thought you brought your own stuff. And I was like, no. I said to you in the email, you're going to have to provide for us. Anyway, they said, right, you can go back. I phoned the boss up. I'm like, oh, what do you want to do? He's like, right, okay, I'll stay. I'll make it work. Anyway, so I remember driving in. There was a farm. I remembered one of my guys, Dima. He used to work as an abattoir. Or is that a butcher? Is that the same thing? He was a butcher, basically. So he could do all that stuff that you do with a pig to get the meat. Anyway, so I said, right. I said, look, this is harsh. So we had loads of wood. So I said, right, I think we had 8 guys with us. I said, right, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a fire, and we're going to have somebody. We're just going to have to take it in rotations to keep that fire going constantly. I mean, guys, like, if you've ever had, I don't know if you ever have, if you've ever had a winter in Eastern Europe, it's horrific, guys. I mean, like, you can have 4 feet of snow fall in a night. Not a problem, guys. 4 feet of snow can quite easily fall in a night. So these are the conditions we're working in. We've got no heating. We've got no food, no electricity. We've got one of those metal storage containers, so I guess we're not going to be getting wet. One of those metal storage containers and a load of wood for as weird as it sounds. So what we had to do is I gave Dima some money. I said, right, Dima, go and get a couple of them pigs. Yeah, you know what's coming, guys. You know what's coming. Put your fingers in your ears if you don't want to hear the gruesome bits. So we started the fire, and no, we didn't start the fire, actually. We couldn't get the fire going because it was too cold. So I was like, right, we need to do something. So I was like, right, Dima, I need some fat from one of the pigs to start this fire. He's like, what? I said, yeah, we need some of that fat off one of the pigs. So Dima had to go away, and he had to, I don't know how it happened, guys. I wasn't involved. He came back with this big roll of belly fat, belly pork. So we used, guys, this is wild. So we had to use the fat from the pig to help get the fire going. Once we got that fire going, we could have, I can't remember where I was going with this, but then we had, sorry, yeah, there I was going. You know, but then we managed to have lots of pork dishes, shall we say that. But anyway, so that's that. I don't know how that came from. Updates on the fires, guys. I really don't know where that came from. Updates from the fires. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I'm going to go now. I'll be back on tomorrow morning. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10. And I hope you all have a bacon sandwich. I certainly am. I'm going straight into the house now to have a bacon sandwich. And you know what? I hope Sarah's been watching, and I hope Sarah's got me one ready. I don't know if that's going to happen, guys. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. But I will see you guys in the morning, 10 o'clock, and just keep your eyes out, guys. Keep your eyes on this water situation, because I do see more water shortages coming. Look, guys, if there's no rain coming down and people are still drinking, it's going to go down. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the morning.